young minds. I hope you are doing great and you had great day so far. And I'm sure if you're here in this video, then I'm sure that you need some help in biology and understanding certain terms and concepts and topics of biology. So don't worry, I am here to help you out. So let me introduce myself. I am Rashmita and I am a passionate educator. I have done my BSc with specialization of zoology, genetics and biochemistry, and later on as I love pets and I wanted to know more about animals, so I have done my masters in zoology. And to add up to my teaching career, I have also done my BEd and have cleared all the teacher eligibility tests like CARTET 2018, CTET 2019, KCET 2021 and APS 2022. Okay, so let me talk about why I am here for teaching. As I've already told, I'm very much passionate about teaching. Give me any subject, I don't mind until and unless it is teaching. And I am most famous among my students that though I am a science teacher, I also teach them Hindi, I also teach them some English grammars, I teach them crafts and arts, I teach them singing. So it's like you give me any subject and I'll be happy to teach you, okay? But basically I'm passionate about life sciences and I've done my mastering in this subject, and that's why I'm here to help you with biology, okay? So today we'll be talking about a simple topic from class grade 10, and the topic is life process, and in the life process we'll be talking about human alimentary canal, okay? Also known as the gastrointestinal tract, okay? So I hope you're ready with your notes and pen, so make sure that you're noting down each and every important point so that you don't miss out. Alright, so with some help of some videos and some anatomical animations, I'll be helping out through the journey to understand what exactly is human alimentary canal, also known as gastrointestinal tract. Alright, here we go. So what is a human alimentary canal? So basically when you're talking about traveling, right, think that you have to go from Bangalore to you can take Bangalore to Kerala, okay? Obviously you will have a map or you might need a route to reach your destination, right? So the path that we take or the route that we follow to reach our destination will be the tract. The same way, when you're ingesting the food or when you're chewing up and swallowing the food, the path or the canal that the food travels to undergo digestion is called as the human alimentary canal. Alright, and it's also called as gastrointestinal tract. Alright, so it's canal, it's a long tube-like structure, and in some places it is having some kind of modifications and adaptations so that it can help in certain purpose through the digestion process. Okay, so today we are not talking about the whole digestive system, but we are only concentrating on the alimentary canal. Alright, so starting from the mouth, the alimentary canal have certain parts, as you can see here. So it is the mouth, and then there is the pharynx, and then the esophagus, and then it leads to stomach, and then it leads to highly coiled structure, that is the small intestine, which leads further to the large intestine, and finally the rectum and the anus. So the human alimentary canal starts right from the mouth to the anus. Alright, so human alimentary canal starts from mouth to the anus. So it ends up in the anus. Alright, so let us focus on each and every sections now. So let us also explore some interesting fact about these parts of the human alimentary canal. So mouth is an oval cavity and it starts from the lips and ends up in the throat. Okay, so this is the canal where exactly breathing happens, and even we digest the food. In some amount of food like starch is digested in the mouth, and then it also helps us to speak. So pharynx is a hollow tube that starts behind the nose and ends up through the neck and ends on top of the trachea and the esophagus. So here trachea, on the trachea you have the pharynx, and pharynx is a common passage for food as well as the air that we inhale. So it becomes the common passage. So then the pharynx leads to the esophagus. So your esophagus is around 25 centimeter in length, and it helps to swallow the food and the water that you intake. Okay, so esophagus is just a pathway, and you would have heard about the famous movement called as peristaltic movement. So peristaltic movement is something wherein whenever the food comes into the tract, it swells up and pushes down the food and comes back to its shape, and further moving that action goes on through your esophagus. And this is also the reason why whenever you are having food or after eating the food, even though you stand upside down, head upside down, the food will straight go into the stomach and will not return back because of this peristaltic movement. Interesting, right? Okay, so esophagus later leads to a J-shaped organ which is called as the stomach. So let us understand more about stomach now. So stomach is very important organ. It's a storage organ. Temporarily it stores the food so that the food can get digested up, and the stomach walls will also secrete some kind of enzymes and acids and also mucus. So when we're talking about digestion, we'll be discussing about their functions and roles in detail. Okay, and the major part of the stomach is to turn the food acidic in nature and also churn the food so that it is ready to move on to the next passage, which is called as the small intestine. Before moving on to the small intestine, there is an interesting fact about your own stomach. Do you know how much your stomach can store the food, or what is the capacity of the stomach? Let me tell you, it is about 4 liters of food is what your stomach can store at once, and it is the capacity of your stomach. Now talking about the longest part of your alimentary canal, that is the small intestine. So interesting fact about this is your small intestine can be approximately around 7 meters in length, but the beauty of the digestive system is your small intestine is highly coiled up and packed inside your abdominal cavity. Okay, so the small intestine can be divided into 3 major parts, that is the duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay, so throughout the small intestine, absorption takes place, majorly the absorption of water and nutrients, and it is done with the help of tiny finger-like projections called as microvilli. There is also an interesting fact about microvilli that the microvilli will increase the surface area for absorption, and when you check for its total surface area of the absorption, it is almost equal to a size of a tennis court. Very interesting, right? And this will help for efficient absorption of your food that is digested, and that is what the major function of small intestine is. And there is another interesting fact when we study about evolutions. It is said that the herbivores will have longer small intestine when compared to a carnivore intestine. Okay, and that is because the plant material, which is basically having the cellulose, cannot be digested by a carnivore, and that is why the herbivores will have longer small intestine so that it can get enough time to digest the cellulose components. So by the time the food reaches the small intestine, it's completely and totally digested, and most of the materials have been already absorbed, and later the undigested food is passed on to another part of the canal, that is the large intestine. So it's also a hollow tube-like structure, but the food goes straight through the passage, not like small intestine, which is highly coiled up. So your large intestine can be divided into 4 different parts, that is the cecum, colon, rectum and anus. Okay, so these are the 4 major parts of large intestine. So major activity which happens inside the large intestine is absorption of water and passing of the undigested food through the canal so that it can reach the last part of your alimentary canal, that is the anus. So before it reaches the anus, the undigested food is stored in the rectum, which is like a muscular organ, and it is like almost like 15 centimeter in length, and later on it is passed on to the anus, which is the last part of your alimentary canal. Anus will have muscular layers which is helping the undigested food to be expelled out of the body with the help of anal sphincter muscles. So these muscles will help in contracting the area so that the fecal matter can be expelled out of your body, because these undigested food and also the nitrogenous waste should not be in your body because they might turn into toxic. So with this we complete human alimentary canal. I hope you loved hearing more about this and you enjoyed listening to more interesting facts as well and understand more about your own body biology. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have liked the content, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press on the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the notifications in my further videos. Thank you so much and have a great day. If you have any doubt, I'm happy to help.